Hello everyone. Uh, Respected Pradeep sir, Honorable Vision IS faculty and esteemed staff members and my dear friends. So I'll be talking about my experience of UPSC and how I am able to crack UPSC exam with rank 44. When I passed my BTech and entered into Amazon, so the I attended the same kind of seminar that you are attending right now, and okay. So I attended the same kind of seminar that you are attending, and so one thing, as Pradeep sir also told you, you should decide why you are coming to civil service. If your motivation is low, or if you are not very clear about your objective, that why you are coming into civil services, you may not be able to have a sustainable motivation that will get you through this examination. So first of all, you have to be very clear. Second, as Pradeep sir also told that you have to decide your priorities. So I worked for 3 months, 3 to 4 months in Amazon. Then I decided to quit. Why? Because I get enough finances to finance myself for enrolling into coaching centers and joining some test series, and also to prepare myself for the UPSC. So I quit. I worked very hard, gave my first attempt, but I could not qualify. Now the problem of again finances rose up. Then I searched for some employment. I got a research assistantship because I did my MS from IIIT Hyderabad. Then I joined a research assistant program, and I used to work 5 hours a day. That is also beneficial in the way I used to get a break from the UPSC monotonous study and slogging through all the Lakshmikants and boring stuffs. So that way you can also manage things while working with your jobs. Similarly, while working as a RA, I used to get enough finances. Then I used to quit and then wholeheartedly prepare for prelims and mains examination. In the 2015 exam, I prepared very wholeheartedly, but then also I could not qualify. Then also there was a question of finances came up, and also there was a family pressure that you quit that job, Amazon job, and some other jobs also, and now you are still going for the third attempt. But one thing I should say is you have to have a firm faith in your abilities. Sit with your parents and give them a very firm belief that you will be able to crack this exam. Because अगर वो नहीं दे पाओगे तो मतलब there will always be a pressure from their side, not physical pressure but mental pressure too. So you should also believe in your abilities. Your motivations should be such that yes, I will be able to clear this exam. So in third attempt, after 2015 mains in December, I joined a coaching institute, earned some finances. After 4 months, I left and then prepared for the 2016 exam. And luckily, I qualified. So that way, I managed to hold upon the family pressure, hold upon the aspirations of the family, and also aspirations of mine. I would say, as Pradeep sir also told, God has given life once. So you should live life of your dreams. I think this is the biggest adventure a person can take. So why not take risk? Why to be a very risk averse and blame that I am not getting enough time to study for UPSC because I am doing a job. You have to set your priorities. You have to grind yourself. While in Amazon or while in any other job, there was a period where I used to literally grind myself, and every UPSC aspirant has to grind itself because you don't get much time. Time is not a very much luxury for you. So I used to wake up, or other my friends used to wake up at 6 and go to bed at 2. So there was continuous 4 months period where this kind of process went on. So you have to do all kind of stuff like this. And as Lalit sir also told, hard work is the only key that will get you through this exam. And there is no shortcut that you can take to have such kind of rank and clear this exam. The only key is the hard work. Now coming to the preparation strategy that you can take, which I took, I can share my strategy was I prepared current affairs very wholeheartedly. frankly, I had no time to read Hindu newspaper. So I left Hindu newspaper altogether. I solely depend upon there was a website called Insight on India, and there was a section called as Daily Current Affairs. So I used to read that section very thoroughly, make notes out of it in half an hour. And I used to read it while traveling in the metro. And also, after coming back, I used to revise my notes. Then at the end of the month, I used to read Vision IS, the current affair daily booklets, current affair monthly booklet. That booklet was very helpful. So I used to supplement my notes from that booklet. Similarly, on the weekends, I used to write a lot of tests. So 4 tests per weekends, Saturday 2 and Sundays 2. So you can do all these kind of stuffs but you have to be in a very, for example, in your toes always. And there is no rule that a working professional cannot qualify UPSC. I think it is very much possible and it is very much feasible. But you have to grind yourself. So next thing is how to plan. So you have to utilize every bit of your time and devote it to UPSC. For example, weekends, for example, traveling time, and if any other time you are cutting short any other activity which you think is not useful for UPSC. I used to have this flow chart. For example, an activity X, if it is helpful for me, make it a habit. If it is not helpful for me clearing UPSC, leave it altogether. So you can make all these kind of flowcharts and leave all activities which are deviating you or which are not helpful for you in clearing the UPSC exam. Now coming to the books and other material that you need for clearing mains and prelims examination. For prelims examination, you can refer to Vision IS, another video which they have uploaded, where I have discussed the book list for the prelims examination. For example, for history, you can refer to Spectrum. One more thing I would like to mention is, don't read too many sources for a single part of the syllabus. For example, there is a section called as modern history. Don't read more than one book for modern history. What matters in this examination most is the revision. If you are not able to revise modern history more than once, then you will not be able to reproduce in the exam. So, and similarly for culture and other part, the same strategy should be followed. That you should not read more sources for a single section of the syllabus. Similarly, you should be very choosy in selecting a particular source. Don't select any source that is available in the market just because it is very famous. Ask yourself, ask other successful candidates, and ask your teachers that whether this source will be very useful or is it going to really help you in the exam. Always do a cost-benefit analysis of any source. And if that source is very lengthy, for example, for me, post-independence syllabus, there is a book of Bipin Chandra, which is a very lengthy book, India After Independence. I left that book altogether because the cost-benefit analysis of that book is very bad. And I used to read notes from online source. When our senior has uploaded, Nitin Sangwan has uploaded his post-independence notes. So I used to read those notes and make my answers out of it. So you have to decide very cautiously because you don't have much time with you. And within a short span of time, you have to cover a huge amount of syllabus. So for sources, for paper 1, for modern history.
Really sorry. So Pradeep has to leave and he has some urgent work to take care of. So I would request Puneet on behalf of Vision IS to felicitate Pradeep. Yeah. This is a small token from our end. It's a book, and we hope that you would be able to find some time to read it and probably like reading it. Thank you so much again. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And
believe me, you become officer or not, You should have good friends. That's the most important. I wish you all the very best, to Himanshu also and to all the aspirants. Believe me, the people who have worked with any sector, they are better equipped to qualify this exam. That's the truth. Thank you.
Okay. So I was discussing about the books that you should refer for paper one. In paper one, as Lalit sir has mentioned, there are 4 or 5 major parts.
My name is Jatin.
Sorry, Jatin sir has mentioned there are 4 to 5 major parts. One is history. In history, you have to read modern history. Modern history, you can refer Spectrum book. This is very good book. For culture, you can read Nitin Singhania's book. For uh, for world history, you can refer to Vision IAS material. It is very good. For post independence, you can read Nitin Sangwan's note. They are very good. For ancient, you can read R.S. Sharma's book. It is also very good. And for society, you can read general stuffs from the internet, like what are scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, and all, and women issues. They can also be covered from the newspapers, Vision IS magazines, and Insights on India. And also for geography, you can read Mrunal and other NCRTs. So my point was, read less, revise more, and practice the more and more, because what 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 is going to help you in the exam is your practice. Ultimately, the more number of papers you write, the more are your chances in getting selected through this process. Because I used to write lot of papers in this attempt only. In earlier attempts, I could not write much papers, and that is why I could not clear this exam. But in this attempt, I used to write lot of papers, and I can say कि if अगर कोई हफ्ते में 4 पेपर लिख रहा है, तो he'll definitely go through this मतलब he'll definitely get selected. So write more and more papers, revise more and more, and read less. Limit yourself to only few sources. Coming to paper 2 of mains, GS paper 2. In GS paper 2, you should read Lakshmikant. Lakshmikant is a very good book for polity. And for governance part, you can refer to either Vision IAS handouts, or you can refer to Ampuri notes. They are also very good. For current in paper 2, you should basically rely on the current affairs, because they are going to ask current affairs in the exam. And for international relation, you can solely rely upon the current affairs, because they won't ask anything apart from current affairs. And if ever they will ask, it will be same for everyone. So don't worry about anything else. Just read current affairs for the international relations. For paper 3, for economy section, you can refer to Mrunal. Mrunal is a very good source. And for security, you can refer to Ashok Singh book. It is a very good book on security. For environment, you can solely rely upon the current affairs section, and also Vision IAS magazines. And for disaster management, you can refer to Vision IAS handout or any other book that you have, or second ARC. And for science and technology, you can rely upon the current affairs. They usually ask questions from the current affairs and not from any other source or any other traditional questions. So coming to the 4th paper, that is ethics. For ethics, you should read Lexicon. I think the Lexicon is a good book, or you can refer to any other book that you find useful. And also try to search some basic terms of the syllabus on the Google, so that you get a minimum basic idea of what does honesty mean, or what does integrity means. So try to search those ethical terms on the Google, and practice a lot. Join some good test series. Keep on practicing ethical case studies and ethical papers. They are going to help you really, really much. And for essays, the basic strategy is practice, then followed by notes making. So for example, if you're writing a test and there are two topics, one is on women and other is on science and technology, go back to home and make notes of regarding women and make notes regarding science and technology. Collect facts regarding women and collect quotes regarding women and make and jot them down, jot down those points into your notes. They are really going to help you. Now coming to your optional, select an optional which is convenient to you, not by anything else, because optional is really important, and that is going to play a major role in your selection. So choose that optional which is which is very much convenient to you and comfortable to you. And if you want, you can also join some online classes because as you are working professional, so online classes will definitely help you, and practice a lot. So my basic strategy was to practice more and more, because I have read a lot in my earlier attempts, and in this attempt I only practiced. I joined a lot of test series, practiced, revised. So I think this was whole my strategy for this UPSC exam. One thing is for motivation, I think I should also tell you कि इस एग्जाम में जो मेन चीज़ मैटर करती है is to sustain your motivation, and for that I used to have 3-4 quotes which I tailored for myself. One is pain of discipline is far less than the pain of failure. So always be very, very disciplined, because otherwise the pain that you get in failing the exam is very, very much. Next one is Confucius said once, he who thinks he can and he who thinks he can't are both usually right. So always believe that you can do it. Literally my parents were telling me in the third exam that you should quit this UPSC and go back to the job, and because there is, I understand their constraints, there is always a societal pressure. So but you have to have a firm belief on yourself that you can do it, and you have to give this belief to your parents and to other members that you can do this exam, you can clear this exam. Third is, if you fail to follow your plan, then you plan to follow failure. So always follow your plan, make short, middle term and long term targets, and always follow them. So this is all I wanted to say, and all the best.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on preparation for civil service examination. We have time for a few questions, so if you could probably raise your hand, and then I'll pass the mic around. Yeah, so
two-part question, sir. One is, what optional did you have, and what was the role of NCERT in particular?
I had anthropology, and NCERTs are very crucial, because I used to read a lot of NCERTs while in college, and NCERT clears our basic understanding of any particular topic. For example, before Lakshmikant, I think you should read NCERTs once. They'll clear your basic stuff about constitution, election, democracy. So I think NCERTs will be helpful, and I think +1 and +2 NCERTs can be referred.
yeah, the question there.
As we're talking about the NCERT, so there is a very basic question the people are still asking: the older ones or the newer ones?
See, I used to read newer ones, but there are few books which you should read. There are few topics for which you should refer to the older ones. For example, R.S. Sharma is an older NCERT. For world history, you can refer to Arjun Dev, which is older NCERT. And for medieval, you can refer to Satish Chandra, which is also an older NCERT. So for few things, you can refer to older ones, and for few things, you can mostly newer ones are important.
Thank you.
So two questions basically. What about the answer writing practice apart from the test series? It's one thing, but on a daily basis when we read stuff, how can we produce it in an answer writing format in the exam? What can we do in our day-to-day life for that? The second question is there any specific way of preparing for the interviews as such? Like, do you have to create some kind of hobbies that shines in your resume or something of that sort? So if you could please elaborate on that.
For answer writing, what you can do is, what I used to do is, I used to read my material first, my notes first, and then I used to only write test, no 5 or 7 questions per day, because I don't find them much useful, and I used to only write test in the weekends, and while in my first and second attempt, and in third attempt, I used to write them very regularly. So what you can do is read your notes, go and write a 3-hour test. I think that will be good, and you should revise your notes very frequently and thoroughly, because then only you will be able to recall them in the exams. Also for the interview, I think mock will help you, and apart from mock, the mirror practice will help you. Mirror practice. Just stand before a mirror, speak for 15 minutes, ask very difficult questions to you. That will definitely clear your mind and clear your any blockage that you have in your mind.
Yeah. So apart from the how you study for IAS and all, so you said you need to have a vision. So if I want to clear this UPSC, I have a vision that I'll go into foreign services. So if you have any idea about what the basic work ethics of a foreign services officer is, or like what do they do when you are a foreign diplomat?
As far as I know, foreign diplomats are very essential for a nation because they maintain international relations with our country. So, as we live in an era of globalization, so IFS has got tremendous role in this era of globalization. So, foreign service officers are basically are the major part in playing this whole game of international relations and bringing investment and bringing technology to the country and all.
Hi, sir. Many congratulations to you first and foremost. I have one question. How to generate opinion and utilize the editorials that we read in the Hindu properly? I mean, generating opinion about the issues, I believe, is very important as far as interview as well as the mains answer writing is concerned. So how do we generate the opinion?
Opinion generation can be done because they don't want, I don't personally think that they want your opinion. You have to write opinion which is not very much biased and which is very neutral and which is implementable. So for that you can make an opinion by reading through newspaper editorials and all. For example, for international relations you can read C. Raja Mohan's article. They are very useful, and through those articles you can make an opinion that whether India should go for CPEC or something like any other initiative. And what my point is, they should be very logical. You should have a sound reason behind making those opinion. In interviews also, if you cite a particular opinion in the interview, they will obviously ask the reason for it. So you should have a very sound logic behind your opinion, that why you made particular kind of opinion.
So one question from my side, like you are saying that on the weekends you keep on writing the test and practice for the mains answer writing. So suppose you are not performing well on some day in a particular test. So how did you improve on that particular topic that you have written in which you have not scored well in the test? So how did you improve that, and who is then judging that whether I have improved in that topic or not? So what is the main criteria how to improve in a particular topic without guidance from somebody, without any judge who will be judging your answer again? So how did you do that?
That is the most crucial part. So I used to have a very close friend circle, or so I would prefer that you should also have a very close friend circle who is also preparing for UPSC. If anyone don't have such, so what they can do is they can join a good test series and they can write there and have a very close bonding with the teacher and let them evaluate their papers and let them continuously follow what are you doing. Let them continuously evaluate what are you doing and whether you are progressing or not. So that will help you. Or obviously what you can do is you can self-evaluate your papers very strictly. I used to have model answers and I used to evaluate my papers based upon those model answers very strictly. So you can also do that.
Any other questions? Okay, I think thank you so much, Himanshu. Again, I mean, you took time.
Thank you.
And you know, it's we really hope that and we sincerely believe the kind of sincerity which you have put into preparation for this examination, you will be able to show the same kind of sincerity when you are in services and be able to do a lot of good things. As a token of appreciation from our end, I would request Dr. Anjani Kumar Singh, who is a senior faculty member with Vision IS, to felicitate Himanshu with a book. I think you have some time before going for the foundation course and probably be able to read through the book. Thank you again. Okay, this sort of brings us to the end of the speaker's talk, and we hope that you would have got some of your queries addressed. And so there are two, three quick announcements which are to be made. So we have some goodies for you. So for all the attendees, we have a very beautiful mug, a coffee mug, and that will be sort of distributed at your table right now in a couple of minutes. And apart from that, as I said, that we would be having tea, coffee and snacks. This gate would be open and we would be having tea, coffee and snacks. We would be having our faculty members and our team members here. I would just like to quickly introduce you to them. So there in blue, we have Dr. Anjani Kumar Singh. Dr. Anjani Kumar Singh holds a PhD from the Jawaharlal Nehru University, and he has been a very important part of Vision IS team and a faculty member at Vision. He would be here, so if you have any doubts and queries with respect to preparation for the examination, you could reach out to him. And then there at the back, if you could please put up your hand, that's Mr. Rahul Kejriwal. Rahul is an alumnus of IIM Lucknow, and he is also a very, very central part of the Vision IS team and a faculty member of economics at Vision IS. So if you have any issues or doubts, you could reach out to him. And yes, my name is Jatin and not Lalit. I think there was some confusion. Right. And yes, I've been associated with Vision IS for close to 3.5 years. And I teach a lot of things. I'm jack of all trades. A lot of people say that. I teach geography, some parts of polity, and security and disaster management Vision IS. And yeah, and actually I just wanted to say one thing. I think someone here asked something about preparation for this examination and what if it doesn't work out. So here I am standing in front of you. I am a perfect example of that. Now I prepared for this examination, appeared a few times at the interview, didn't make it to the final merit list. I had a certain dream and aspiration when I started preparing for this examination, that was to bring about certain change or do certain things, and probably I was not cut for getting through the examination, for whatever reasons. I sort of didn't give up on that. I made it a point that irrespective of whether I am in civil services or outside, I'll make that impact or I'll work on whatever thing which I want to, right? Vision IS is just one part of thing which I do because I really like teaching, and it sort of keeps me updated with a lot of things. I didn't stop. I started working in the development sector. I started working in the development sector back in 2012. I gave my first attempt in 2012. And I started working in the development sector back in 2012 at a very meager salary, with a role which was completely on ground. And then from there on, it built on. I worked with a couple of public policy think tanks because I had developed interest in public policy. I started writing memorandums to the government, submitting them, and then I could proudly say that I was called to represent on some of the committees by the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, as well as with the Government of India for discussion on some important bills and policies of the government. And presently, I am working as a consultant with the Andhra Pradesh government, and I also work with the Department of Vocational Education with Delhi government. Now, all of this, it's why I want to say this, and this might just sound that why I'm bringing in this entire thing. that civil services is not the end of everything, right? If you've taken it up as a goal in your mind, you are prepare for it, really prepare really hard for it, and leave certain things to destiny. If you are to make the cut, you will make the cut. But at the same time, leave no stone unturned in your preparation, right? Don't leave any stone unturned in your preparation, whether it is your first attempt or the 6th attempt or the 10th attempt or whatever it is. But at the same time, another thing which has to be understood is that try, something which Pradeep mentioned, the entire process of preparation of civil services examination takes you through a roller coaster of a journey, which transforms your personality significantly, which opens up your eyes and ears to a lot of things in society, about the country and about the world, which you probably would have never ever thought while being at your grad college, while even if you would have gone to the best university in the world, you probably would not have been exposed to certain things. That is what civil services examination does. It takes you through that rigor. It takes you through a plethora of topics and subjects in a diversity of those areas, which really does open up your minds and the possibilities in your mind. And therefore, civil services is one way of doing that. If you feel after today's session that, wow, this sounds so good, but probably I don't have enough time or enough resources or enough all of those things to do something like this in my life, perfect. Go back, do what you're doing, and at the same time think what else can be done in order to achieve the objective which you would have wanted to out of civil services. That's what I would recommend. Apart from that, just coming back to the preparation bit back again, Himanshu mentioned about some of the material by Vision IAS. So most of this material which Himanshu referred to is available free online. We believe in open platform, and therefore you could go to visionis.in, www.visionis.in, and on that website you could go to resources, and there is a lot of material which is available for free download. We have our monthly current affairs magazine that we come out with, which is a compilation of all the news items. We have a dedicated team which works very hard through day and night to prepare that magazine every month, and we come out with a synopsis kind of a thing for the current affairs every month. In fact, Rahul heads that team. And we also have a lot of material which is put online otherwise. We have some of the copies of the previous year toppers which would be put there. Students, those who had enrolled with us for our test series and were our class students, we have put their answer copies also online on that particular platform, so you could catch hold of them, see how the toppers are writing their answers. That's the best way to prepare, because if you are able to get into the mind of the examiner and what really clicks at the examination, then half of your job is done. Rest, you just need to gather knowledge and put it on paper. Obviously, practice is a very important part of it. And also, this is again, because Himanshu mentioned it, this is to just introduce you a bit about what Vision is doing with respect to bringing classroom at your doorstep. So we believe that coming to Delhi, leaving your job, and probably staying in Rajendra Nagar or Mukherjee Nagar or wherever, in all those inflated, highly inflated rent areas is probably not possible for each and every one of you, or for each and everyone. And therefore, we have started online classroom programs, and you could get access to our online classes through, you could enroll in our online classroom program. You can get access to online classes either through your mobile or through the web browser, and you can watch the videos later as well, apart from watching them when the class is taking place. So basically what we do is that we mirror the class as it is happening in the classroom online. It's recorded, it's put online, and at the same time you can watch it as it is happening. And plus there are a number of other facilities which are there, which you could, if you want more information about, you could probably visit our website. There are a number of things that we provide to our online classroom students. That includes full 24/7 support. So you would be having your queries, if you have any in the class, could be dealt with. We are also coming up with a discussion forum where, because we feel that classroom delivery is not the only thing about classroom programs. When you go to a classroom, you also interact with your peers, and you learn from them. You discuss certain issues with them, you discuss certain topics with them. So we are also coming up with a discussion platform and a forum where you could discuss issues with your peers, and it would be trying to mimic the kind of experience which one would have when one would be attending classes. So if you are someone who's a student, if you are someone who's a working professional, you need not necessarily quit your job. If you have the will, if you have the rigor, you can crack this examination, right? There are, and this is not to say that, you know, Vision IS is the only organization which has come out with a lot of free content, e-content. There is a lot of free and e-content which is there on the internet. But the only thing which you, and there are a lot of really good initiatives which have come up in the recent past. The only thing which you need to keep in your mind while preparing for the examination is that please keep your resources restricted, right? You can't have, I mean, I say this, you know, jokingly to a lot of students, that you are supposed to become a district collector and not a book collector. So, you know, there are a lot of bookshops, there are a lot of books, there are so many books which are available in the market. If you want to do PhD on a small topic of the entire syllabus which I had taken you through, you could do it for your entire life. You could do research, PhD and a postdoctorate and so on and so forth. But that's not the objective of the examination. You have to clear the examination, right? You have limited amount of time. So that is what is there about the preparation for the examination. Just, you know, a follow-up to this. My email ID is jatin.g@visionis.in. If you have any query which you want to be addressed, you can mail, but please be a bit patient because we do get a lot of queries on a daily basis. Apart from that, if you go on the Vision IS website, there are IDs, email IDs of several other faculty members also which have been mentioned. You can reach out to them and reach out to our team if you need any help with respect to preparation for the examination. So I think now we could sort of proceed for the tea and the snacks. And if any of you have queries, we would be more than happy to deal with them. Is there anything else? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for taking out time, and thank you so much for being here for the evening. Thank you.